Welcome, everybody. This is the Public Works Committee of the Metropolitan Council meeting for Tuesday, November 17th at 4 o'clock. I'm going to go over the consent agenda first. Bear with me and let me know if you need to pull anything after we get done. First on the consent agenda is RS 2020-648. Toombs and Nash accepts the terms of a cooperative purchasing master agreement for software that provides a collection calendar and a reminder for trash, recycling, and brush, and a searchable database of what materials are recyclable. Resolution 2020-649, Toombs, Murphy, and Nash approves Amendment 4 to an agreement between Tennessee Department of Transportation and Metro Public Works for improvements on Jefferson Street. Resolution 2020-650, Roberts, Murphy, and Nash, amends of ordinance number BL 2020-427 to authorize the Metro government to abandon additional easement rights for 5 properties located at 4427 Michigan Avenue, formerly a portion of an unnumbered alley. I have a letter to approve that from Councilmember Roberts. RS 2020-651, Taylor, Murphy, and Nash, amends ordinance number BL 2019-1565 as amended to authorize the metropolitan government to modify previously accepted sanitary sewer main and to accept additional sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements, and update map and parcel information for now 2 properties located at 600 and 640 21st Avenue North. Bills on second reading are going to BL 2020-493 by Sledge, Cash, Allen, and Taylor. Amends Metro Code of Laws relative to, I'm sorry, that is not on consent. Excuse me. Next one on consent is Bill number 2020-507, Cash, Toombs, Nash, and Allen, authorizes Metro Public Works to accept a contribution of $25,000 for the construction of a signalized crosswalk at the intersection of 21st Avenue South and Belcourt Avenue. And we do have a letter to approve from Councilmember Cash. BL 2020-508, Rosenberg, Toombs, and Nash, authorizes Metro Public Works to accept a contribution of $450,022.60 for the construction of intersection improvements, State Route 100 and Pasco Road. The next on consent, BL 2020-509 by Cash, renames the private road Dixie Place from 21st Avenue South to the dead end as Vivian Thomas Way. BL 2020-510, Withers, Murphy, and Nash, abandons existing easement rights located at 220 Riverside Drive, formerly a portion of Barclay Drive. We have a letter to approve from Councilmember Withers. BL 2020-511, Murphy and Nash, abandons existing easement rights for property located at 4100 Aberdeen Road, formerly a portion of Mockingbird Road. Bill number 2020-512, abandons existing easement rights located between Louisiana Avenue and Tennessee Avenue, formerly a portion of the 50th Avenue North, now located at 4915 Louisiana Avenue and 4912 Tennessee Avenue. Bill number 2020-513 authorizes the Metro Water and Sewage Services to provide public water service improvements for Elta Foundry LP proposed development, as well as other existing properties in the area. Bill 2020-514, Henderson, Murphy, and Nash, abandons existing sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manhole and easements, and to accept new public sanitary sewer main, sanitary sewer manholes and easements for 3 properties located at 3916, 3920, and 3922 Cross Creek Road. Anybody move for approval? I have a second. Any concerns? Yes.
There was an item was deferred in planning because there was no district sponsor's name on it, and I'd like to pull that just so we could talk about it. RS 2020-642. No, that's not it. Sorry, hold on. It's the one about the roundabout. Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's on the bill. Yes. If he is on both. Okay, well, pull it then.
649? Bill or resolution?
Resolution.
Okay. Any other items of consent? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of saying aye? Aye. Opposed, no. 7-4. 0 against on consent. Going back to the head of the agenda, chair report. I don't have anything special. I did get a email from a person that works for Public Works that deals with street numbers, or there's several streets in town. We all know where they are, or we all have some street name, and then there's a development in between, and then the street name picks up again, which causes issues for emergency services, primarily getting to the right section of the street. She has sent out that email to several council members that are involved, so I hope you'll take a look at that. And some of them, I asked her for the number of addresses on those streets, and there were like 3 out of the 8 things she sent me that had absolutely no addresses on them. So I suggested to Public Works, they might want to just send that through the administration, and then we can talk about those, maybe knock those out pretty quick, and then we'll get to district councilmen on the other issues to talk with the people involved that might be changed, and some might be more work than it's worth. I know you've got, somebody out in Bellevue has like 3 old Harding places or something. 9, yeah, that makes it, would make it interesting, to say the least. Okay. Any staff reports? Water, Public Works? We're good? Okay, then first on the, yes?
Real quick, and it doesn't have to be today, but I think, again, given that we kind of started this this period of this second year of the term with some pretty substantial changes to, I think, departmental focus between Public Works and Water, I still would like to get an update maybe from Director Whitelaw about where we are with that stuff. Just kind of an overview of, hey, we've heard that there are some services merging, just kind of a departmental update from the standpoint of Public Works.
Okay. Council Leader Benedict. All right. Okay, you got that, John? No, I'll send you an email. Okay. Starting out, Resolution 2020-633, Toombs, O'Connell, Cash, Nash, and Hancock. Amends Resolution RS 2020-441 to revise the Green Invest Agreement between Tennessee Valley Authority, Nashville Electric Service, and the Metro government for the purchase of renewable energy.
The next resolution is
Okay.
Or well, so let me do this. I'll move approval. And then just curious why these weren't on the consent agenda, if there was a reason, if somebody had pulled them in advance.
Nobody pulled it in advance. I just thought that might be one of those things that might have questions.
I'm happy to speak in favor of these as a sponsor.
No, as far as I'm concerned, we're good to go, but I just wanted to be sure. Let me also add the Second Amendment, RS 2020-634, we can take them together, approves tranche agreement 1 between the Tennessee Valley Authority, Nashville Electric Service, and the Metro government for the purchase of renewable energy. We have a motion and a second.
And then just real quickly, by way of discussion, thank you, Mr. Chair. For members who were here last term and anybody who was following along with this, we passed BL 2019-1600, which puts Metro on a schedule to deliver a stronger portfolio of renewable energy, and I just want to express my gratitude to the Cooper administration here. These two resolutions taken together are actually going to put Metro ahead of schedule. This is a kind of thing that we're pushing the cost out quite a bit, but this remarkable partnership between Metro and Vanderbilt, which also includes obviously the TVA and NES, is a big deal. So I'm really excited to see these come to our agenda, and I'm eager to vote for them on the floor. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Burgley?
Acknowledge council, as Director Mr. Jameson did yesterday, that we've got the power team here to answer questions, and appreciate y'all being here to
Anybody
speak
else?
to it.
Exciting project.
Member O'Connell for his initiative in setting us on this path, and
Okay.
good job.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any against? Any abstentions? Seeing none, we move on. Resolution 2020-649, Toombs, Murphy, and Nash approves Amendment 4 of an agreement between the Tennessee Department of Transportation, Metro Public Works for improvements on Jefferson Street. Do I have a motion? Sponsor Taylor was also going to be on that. I'm on it here too. Your questions?
To ask about them, my understanding is this adding a little bit of money, largely because it's adding a roundabout. It's a huge intersection, so clearly one will fit there. But I'd just love to hear a little bit more, maybe from Councilmember Hurt or someone in Public Works, on the public discussion involved in deciding to change that from just a regular four-way. I mean, every other roundabout that I know of right now was a five-way mess, and this one is functional now. So was it driven by other things, and
Well,
is the community on board?
that area had been problematic for quite some time in terms of the activity. And a lot of people would congregate at that gas station on the corner. And it has always been problematic for accidents. So thinking that it would be great for the traffic to be able to continue to flow, I've actually made the suggestion that we consider bringing a roundabout. And they came in, we did several community meetings and talked about it and discussed it and thought that it would be, as you said, being that it's such a large intersection, it really does work very, very well, and especially with it being the gateway to Tennessee State University. And a lot of the student housing is on the north side of 28th Avenue, actually on the north side of Jefferson Street. And so I guess that's the northwest side. And with them being able to go to the right, it just doesn't make sense for them to get caught up in traffic, going to class, and you know how kids are. So with it continuously going, it just makes it easier for everyone.
Gotcha. Thank you. I just wanted to hear about the process. I appreciate
Any
it.
other questions, concerns? Gamble?
I missed where exactly is the roundabout?
28th and Jefferson
Okay,
Street.
okay.
It's going to make the marches interesting, I'll say that.
Huh?
It's going to make the marches
And it's
interesting.
all right for the parade too. It's all right for the parade. It's still gonna be large
Okay.
enough in order for the parade to come around. And that was really truly a factor
Yeah.
because that is the most attended area on the route of the parade.
Yeah.
Right there at 28th Avenue. So with it being much wider and open, it actually disperses the crowd out a lot and just makes it an easier flow.
Gotcha.
Whether it's marching bands or whether it's people in cars.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. 6-4-0 against. Any abstentions? No. Okay. And where are we now? We are to the bills. BL 2020-457. Councilman Rosenberg amends Metro Code to restrict Metro government from entering into agreements or contracts to acquire surveillance footage or data captured by technology owned by a person or business without the direct consent of the person or business, and to clarify the existing prohibition in the operation of license plate scanning equipment pertains to the scanning of license plates within the public right-of-way. A motion? So moved. A second. Councilman Rosenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since the LPR part to remove the ambiguity in the code has become a attractant to a whole range of LPR concerns, I'd like to move a substitute that removes that portion of the bill. We'll introduce that separately as a separate bill, and then just it leaves intact the surveillance-related portion that everyone seems on board with. So I'd like to ask for a motion on the substitute and approval of that substitute, please.
We have a motion and a second on substitute. Any further discussion?
Which I believe will probably require, so I will withdraw my amendment.
I am also withdrawing mine. And I appreciate Councilman Rosenberg doing this. It gives us a chance to further discuss this and flesh some of these issues out and see if we can't find some consensus. And I'm grateful to.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor about saying aye? Aye. And opposed, no. 6, 4, 0 against, and now I need a motion, I guess, as substituted. So moved. And second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Any abstentions? 0. Thank you, Councilman Rosenberg. Another one, Councilman Rosenberg, 2020-492 amends the Metro Code pertaining to weight restrictions on certain roads.
For 2 meetings, please.
We have a motion to defer 2 meetings. Defer 2 meetings. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor about saying aye? Aye. Opposed, like sign. 7-0. Any abstentions? No. Okay. Bill 2020-493, Sledge Cash Allen Taylor, amends the Metro Code of Laws relative to night parking restrictions, and I have a letter from Councilmember Sledge to defer that 1 meeting, or defer indefinitely, I'm sorry. Indefinitely, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yes.
He mentioned why. I mean, I'm a co-sponsor just because I've had a 20-foot-long RV parked in my district for 7 years, and we were just hoping to be able to move
He
it.
did not. It was kind of that real narrow form letter. I just wanted to defer it.
Okay. Problem it would be great to have a solution to. So
Yeah, I agree. We all have boats, trailers
RV.
somewhere.
in
Yeah.
our district. Yeah.
All those in favor of the deferral, vote saying aye. 7. Any against? Any abstentions? 7-0. Okay, we go to, I think we're done. Thank you all. Give me another year, I'll get this down.